And welcome to you all. Thanks for joining us again in Phil's back garden. We've got Keen filming everything, and we've got one of the last of the sunny days.
So we thought we'd turn the temperature up a little bit.
The heat is off.
Yeah.
451. So the talk, book burning at Fahrenheit 451, which is the temperature that paper catches fire and begins to burn. Now make no mistake, all despotic regimes, all tyrannies, dystopias have one thing in common. They like to control the narrative. They like to stop people thinking for themselves. Their opinion is what they want projected to the masses of people. So whether it's Hitler's Third Reich in Germany, in Kristallnacht, getting the books, burning them, authors they don't like, or whether it's whatever regime, this has been a trait, a feature.
Yeah.
What we want to look at, not so much the history of book burning, but we want to look at these two films. From the book by Ray Bradbury, by the title of Fahrenheit 451. The first question is, Phil, when was the last time you had a bonfire?
When?
Yeah.
A proper November the 5th bonfire.
Any sort of bonfire,
Oh, I'll
burning
use,
anything.
I'll use this for garden rubbish, yeah.
And how often do you?
Once every couple of months or so,
Yeah.
once I've done some pruning.
I remember times with my mum and dad growing up. They had regular bonfires.
Right, with potatoes.
All sorts of stuff. I
Yeah,
think.
I saw the one.
Just endless bonfires.
Yeah. Pyromaniacs.
So, what we're going to do then is look at the first of the film. Now, we've watched these, what,
Couple
twice?
of times, yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
We've seen each one twice, making notes. They're very interesting films.
They're very interesting.
Now, it opens up, the first one, knowledge is a dangerous thing, the opening statement. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
So the first film,
Have you noticed with the introduction as well?
yes,
They're showing all the aerials
yes,
as if they're transmitting to everybody.
and
While they're running
I
up the
thought it was
characters,
interesting film.
while they're running up the characters' names in the film, who appears in the film, they're showing all these spooky sounds and aerials.
You
transmitting.
noticed the aerials. What I noticed was there was no written credits produced by so and so, directed by
Oh,
so.
okay.
It was a voice.
Right.
It was a voice saying,
Yeah.
starring so and so,
Yes.
starring directed by
Yes.
such and such.
Yeah.
That's in the first film.
Yeah.
Now, this film, 1966, the original first one, was directed by French film director Francois Truffaut. And he's quite famous. He started out as a film critic, went into directing, and he even starred in Close Encounters of the Third Kind as the French person interviewing Dreyfus in the office.
Yes.
I think he was nominated for a
Right.
supporting Academy Award. He played a good part, but he's known for his films, and this is the only one he made in the English language. Now Truffaut, a few facts about him. I found he didn't live to an old age. He died at 52, and he died on October 21st, 1984. Now we've got, whenever that date comes up, I do sit back and my ears prickle. 1984. Now you say, well, everyone's got to die at some particular point, in some given day, of some given month, of some given year, and that's perfectly true. But equally, what I found unusual was that the main lead character, the fireman, who played Guy Montag, this guy, who was German Austrian, He died at 61 years old, and he died in the year 1984 as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
They both died in the month of October, and they both died within just 2 days of each other.
Well,
So I found that unusual, to say the least. Now, the character that Oscar Werner, playing Guy Montag, the main fireman who begins to question
yes.
and doubt, let me think. Yeah, Oscar Werner played the part, and his name was Guy Montag in the film. Now, Guy, Guy Fawkes.
Yeah.
This is a popular expression. I mean, years back it wasn't so well used amongst English people. You know, it was an American slang word. Hey, you guys, what do you say to the mob scene? Yeah. But now you go into a restaurant, and both male and female are guys. Are you ready to order yet, guys? Yeah. So it's a term for your average guy. Montag, as I stated, Oscar Werner, German Austrian. Montag is a German word. Dienstag is Tuesday, Mittwoch is Wednesday, Donnerstag is Thursday, Freitag is Friday, Samstag, Saturday, Sonntag, Sunday, Montag, Monday. New beginnings, new start, new week, a new dystopia.
Yes.
Montag. Is that what it means? Words have meanings, names have meanings. Now, Julie Christie epitomises the 60s. She's done various films.
Yeah.
Nice lady, nice actress. But she plays two parts. She plays the shallow wife of Montag with long hair,
Yes.
who wants to be accepted by society, and it don't matter at what cost.
Yeah.
And she also plays the neighbour who travels on the same train as Montag.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And she's got shorter hair, and she's a book reader, and she's someone who questions this. And
An
really,
eel. She's an eel.
yeah, she's against it all.
Yeah.
She's on the right side of history. Now, in a sense, it's not unusual to have films with actors or actresses playing a number of parts. I think of Peter Sellers in Dr. Strangelove. He played 3 parts.
Yeah.
I think of Alex Guinness in Kind Hearts and Coronets. He played 9 different parts. But does this mean, possibly, doubles? In our day, we're looking at like
Yeah.
Hillary.
Yeah.
We're looking at
Hillary.
the Queen.
Yeah.
We're looking at Sleepy Joes. We're looking at Prince Charles, and we're thinking
They don't look the
they
same.
don't look the same. You know, is there something about doubles in this? Is something being said? Is something being conveyed?
It's not the only double you noticed in the film.
Yeah,
It is. This is jumping towards the end, so it's a bit off script.
that's all.
You know when she loses her job at the school,
Yeah,
and Montag comforts her when she's crying, and he
Yeah.
goes back to the school to pick up her belongings from the locker.
oh yes.
Do you remember when the locker?
Someone
It came out on a remote control little vehicle for her belongings, and the teacher pops the head through the window to look.
Yes.
Did you notice who it was?
Yes, I know now. He was in the fire department.
It's the fire brigade. You're one of the officers.
But was he using that disguise to spy on her?
Yeah,
He was, wasn't he?
yeah. So he's dressed up as a
He
woman.
wanted to
with
find
thick
out
makeup
what
and-
Montag was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did notice it was the other chap, and he starred in various war films.
Now here's the one who sort of was the grass
Yeah.
in the film,
Yeah.
wasn't it? For
Yeah.
Montag. So
That's it.
yeah.
Now, as you said, towards the end of the film, Montag joins the. He has a change of heart. He joins the people in the forests, and he's introduced to them.
Yeah.
And they introduce themselves as a book that they have memorised by heart. So they would say, "I am whatever it is, Wuthering Heights. I am Charles Dickens's Christmas Carol," or whatever. I found one interesting because there was a book. Now, bearing in mind they only said maybe 8 or 9 different titles of the books, of people introducing themselves as that book. One of the books and I've touched on this before, 1984, pointing to that book by Orwell, 84, pointing to some event which I think is significant is Prince's Purple Rain, and this dystopia going to be unveiled worldwide. And I've touched on this in previous videos, and I may continue to share it more deeper, but there was a book by Niccolo Machiavelli which has almost a proverb about this book called The Prince. That was the title of one of the books, The Prince. Right. And the term Machiavellian is synonymous. It connotes political deceit, deviousness and real politics. Everything that this global coming world leader will manifest, the Prince. I just found that of significance.
Just one or two notes about the film. Fahrenheit 451 is the fire brigade's name, so they've got their name emblazoned all over the uniforms and all over the fire engine.
Yeah.
But as we know, they're not putting out fires, they're starting fires, they're burning books.
Exactly.
But the reason the populace don't realise that is that they're taking these tablets daily to keep them suppressed from the truth. So every day everybody takes 2 tablets and they think the fire brigade is doing a good thing, and they're actually cheering for it on television, cheering for them to go and burn anybody's books, any history books, anything that's giving you factual information they want to destroy. And I noticed with the badge and the logo of Fahrenheit 451, it's like a little newt stroke lizard, but it's got 6 legs and like a serpent's tail.
Well, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, it's very strange. So, harking back to today and what's been going on the last couple of years, it's very similar. So, they're keeping them suppressed with these tablets, and they also state at the time, there's the one little phrase where he says, where are we? Keep them busy and happy.
Yes.
We're up the dosage of sport.
Yes.
So keep them interested in sports and TV,
I remember
and they won't know what else is going on.
Yeah. It's
fantastic.
the whole thing of bread and circus.
Yeah.
As the officer above
Yeah.
Montag is saying, isn't it? What do you do?
Yeah.
But your time's off, Montag.
That's right.
I
I like a bit of sport.
the
I like
garden,
watching-
or I look after. And what would you do if it was forbidden to mow the grass? I'd just sit, watch it grow.
Yeah, that's right.
And you like sports, Montag?
That's
He
it.
says. He goes, yes. What do you think of football? Oh, marvellous, sir. And golf? Yes, lovely game.
Yeah.
And it's all, as he says, keeping them busy, keep them happy.
With a television set.
Yeah.
His wife, Linda, Montag's wife, actually calls for him to, I wouldn't say begs, but calls for him to get a bigger size television. It's a screen on. Did you notice that the TVs are on the walls like they are now?
Yes. And to even greater effect with the
flat-
next film.
And flat screens,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
And she demands a bigger screen because she interacts with the TV as well. The game show host
Yes.
stops and turns around and asks her a question live, and she has to speak out to the TV. Well, it's just like a smart television now, isn't it?
Exactly.
Watching you and listening to you. Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Exactly. And she says to Montag, why do you burn books? He replies, well, it's a job like any other. It's good work with lots of variety. And at that point, I thought to myself, like you've just said, well,
Yeah,
if they start fires rather than put them out, and they're called firemen, then what are the people who actually put fires out? And that's answered later on
yeah,
with the conversation continues, and Montag says, houses have always been fireproof. As isn't, says Clarissa. Well, then it should be condemned. One of these days it has to be destroyed, and you will have to move. That is, have it fireproof. Have to move house.
yeah,
It doesn't meet the regulations.
yes,
Maybe a smart city.
yeah. Get you off the land. Yeah,
Get you off the land.
Yeah, that's right.
And do you want to comment on the informer's box when they're having a cup of tea in the cab?
Yeah, they've got like outside the fire station, as it were. They've got like a little pillar box, like an old-fashioned post box. And so, if you want to grass on your neighbour because you think he might have a collection of books, you drop a note into the box. Fantastic. It's just like you getting your neighbours to switch on you the last couple of years, and if you left the house or you had a party or
and
it's exactly the
telling
same.
them to grass people
Telling
up,
them to
and
grass
if
people up.
they've got the water.
So Linda
water on.
even puts Montag's own photos in, doesn't she? She grasses her own husband up because
Yes.
he starts to question why he's burning books because of these acquaintance with the other lady next door on the monorail. That's another thing. It was very futuristic, wasn't it? It's a monorail.
That bit was shot in France,
Yeah.
although the rest of it was shot in the UK.
Yeah. But she opens his eyes really, and the reason he starts questioning things is because he stops taking his tablets.
Yes.
He stops taking his tablets and sort of realises and wants to keep books himself. So he starts stealing them when they go out on the job. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's very good.
And at one point he confronts her with all her friends, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
an embarrassing situation, and he says,
Have you noticed nobody's got any love for each other? Couples as well. That's
"Yes,
that where he confronts her friends when they're having a bit of a ladies' party, as it were, in a house. Nobody's got any compassion for or love for each other.
Yeah, yeah.
They're all just robotic.
yeah." Did you say you had one with
And they-
zombies on the front?
And they keep touching each other all the time as well.
Yeah.
Have you noticed? Have you seen it through the film? They've only got compassion for themselves. And
Oh
they keep-
yes, you're
and rubbing
right.
his-
You're right. I think one of the ladies on
Even
the train
Linda
this
does
is
that.
the image of
Yeah,
herself in the mirror,
Yes.
in the glass.
that's right.
You're correct.
Yeah.
It comes back.
Did you
Strong
notice that on the monorail as well? There's the spiral to keep them all in a daze on the train.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Now you said you had a newspaper called
It's in the house.
It's in the
Sorry.
okay, don't get up
Right.
for that. But they make the comment. He says to all her friends, "You're all zombies."
Yeah.
You remember that bit?
Yeah.
And books are referred to as graffiti.
Yes, that's right.
And when he's actually made his escape, they turn on him with the mainstream media, innit? And they say, murderer Montag,
Yeah.
terrorist Montag.
And they're all cheering, burn him! And
yeah. Okay, so that's anything else on the first film?
Yeah, so we've covered that. Yes, in the first film, the fire brigade, all the men and officers, all do like a Nazi chest salute.
Ah, yes. It's almost like Hitler would do, bringing
Yeah.
the arm across.
And
the
there's
chest.
also
And
a
then there was
Masonic
some-
handshake in
There was
the film. which
something
is
like that, wasn't it? They were
in the
doing,
film. So, yeah, it's very.
That's greetings. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's that one. Okay, so we've come to the next one. Now, this one was actually 2018,
Yeah, so
just 2 years
Years
before
before.
the nonsense kicked off.
yes.
And again, what did you feel between the two? I mean, as an entertainment thing to watch, they were both interesting in their own way.
Well, you gave me the second one first,
Yeah.
so I watched them in reverse order. Though I'm not a film fan as such, I do like a few old films from my era, as it were,
Yeah.
70s, 80s. I don't go out to watch films, but I do enjoy modern day films. The technology they're using to make them look so realistic is fantastic, really, what they can do. What else are they doing? So because I watched that one first, I thought this is good. Not only the storyline, because I hadn't watched the original, I thought this is really good. The storyline to it, the characters, and what it actually meant, destroying the evidence, the history, knowledge. So it was strange to watch them back to front.
Yeah.
So when I came to the first one, I thought, like you mentioned, it was very, very basic, wasn't it?
It was quite basic.
Even like Trumpton, you said, like the old children's programme Trumpton, with the
begins
way they
in
ride
coming
on the
down,
fire
you
engine.
know how they come down the pole
Yeah.
where the fire wagon is.
Yeah.
They're going out on the day, and they've got all in red, aren't they? With
Yes.
like little helmets,
Yeah.
like
Sort of
like a
peak on it.
French
Yeah,
tomahawk,
it's weird.
something from what First World War or
don't
something
know
they
what
had
it
on. It looked very French,
Yeah.
didn't it? And
But this is
as
very,
you say, like Trumpton,
yeah,
sort of a
yeah. This one's a very up to date modern, isn't it?
very mod cons.
Yeah.
And a clip in it. Well, in this one, you've got it's directed by Ramin Bahrani. It stars Michael B. Jordan and Michael Shannon as the like evildoer chief who, on the one hand, he doubts some things, but he goes along with
Yes,
it.
he does.
He writes little notes to himself and then
On
burns
cigarette
them.
papers. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
And the lady in it.
And he even
Sophia
says to
Kittel.
Montag, read it. He wants him to read a book. I've done it, he says.
Yeah.
I've questioned it myself.
Yeah.
So he's still got this little inkling in the back of the mind that whatever he's doing is wrong.
Yeah.
But he has to go along with it.
And some of the ones he wrote out to himself sitting in his apartment. Never win by force what can be won by deception. People want to be deceived. That's quite a statement, isn't it?
Yeah.
People want to be deceived.
Um,
And the citizens of this dystopia are brainwashed
Yeah.
into certain times, like the book 1984, of public hate.
yeah.
They gather when somebody's been captured and they're booing and hissing
That's
and
right.
railing at them. And then there's the burning of the books. But what was different, because it's moved into the computer era,
They were on
they took computers
like hard drives.
where they
Yeah.
were stored as well,
Yeah.
materials of written
Yeah.
books and things. So they were smashed with the
That's right.
books.
Yeah. So the television aspect remains in the second one.
Even better though.
Even
wasn't it?
better quality.
Bigger,
And talking to you.
big
Are you
large
okay,
screens.
Montag? It talks to you
Yeah.
now, saying, yeah.
bigger screens, and outside you can see all manner of screens
Yeah.
in public places.
And they've also got this little, either on your desk or a drop-down one, a little camera that you speak to called Yuxi. Now, so Yuxi, can you turn the lights on? You know what I mean? It's a modern day Alexa.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes, and the AI, the interaction
Yeah.
with AI, artificial intelligence, it's a female voice that soothingly
Yes.
speaks
Yes. That's,
to
well,
the
well,
males.
that's what Alexa is and all the rest of them.
Yes.
It's always a female voice.
Female
Yeah.
voice, and she notices if Montag is,
Hasn't took his. Oh, sorry.
if he's depressed either.
Depressed, yeah, and also the medication that everybody takes has changed from 2 tablets to eye drops. So they're now dropping into their eyes the medication again to keep them lulled
Yeah.
into the full sense
And
of.
at one point she says, your medication and drugs will be reconfigured
Yeah.
and changed because she notices he's depressed, to which he replies, that's fine.
Yeah,
And did you notice when he was interacting with the screens, picking a top to wear,
yeah,
the AI voice says, oh, great choice, you'll
Yeah.
look good in that.
yeah, yeah. It's Facebook's metaverse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's careful. I've got to be careful not to jump too far, really, because I just made notes, this, that, and t'other. Yeah, so we've done drops in their eyes there. I've got to be careful how I word this one. When you say he got depressed, again, I think it's because he stopped taking his medication, so he started waking up, started pinching books and wanting to read them. He visits the fire chief. Well, he breaks into his office.
Yeah.
Breaks into his office, and the chief comes back and catches him in there, and he faints. Or does the chief do something to him to make him faint? And he picks him back
A
up.
bit like Spock in,
Yeah,
yeah. on the neck. or
And
something.
he says to him, this is what the chief says to Montag. He says, Montag, you have a Miley Cyrus. Go home and rest.
Go home and rest.
Isn't that what all GPs used to say to you?
Yeah.
Suddenly now we've got a fix for it, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah. And when they're teaching in the children,
Yeah.
the horrible fire chief and Montag in a school with young people, they come out with the same slogans that we often get at bus stations, public places, trains. If you see something, say something.
Yeah. Yes, there's the, yeah, see something, say
You know,
something.
see it, say it, sort it.
That's right.
That we get continually bombarded with
And it's,
for your safety.
there's another one, another screen that
and
says
happiness.
we're here to keep you safe.
Yeah,
And then there's the other one I noticed. It said in one of the books, I think it was, that they're burning. I can't remember now. It says consciousness is more than a thorn; it's a dagger to the flesh.
Yeah.
So if you're awake and conscious, they don't want you.
all the children in the school that they were teaching had purple tops on. Now I noticed
I
that
know
because I'm.
You're into
But
your purple rain
I
at the
won't
moment.
home in on that, but it is a fact. They did. They all sat in purple top.
Yeah.
Now they say to them all, we've burned almost every physical book in the country, so by the time you
Your
guys
grandchildren,
grow up,
yeah,
there won't be any books left.
that's right.
Your grandchildren will not even know what a book is.
That's right.
Yeah.
Um,
Shall we touch on one of the most disturbing bits in both films, really? Because it's the same incident, more or less repeated.
Well,
That's-
there's a little clever bit I noticed as well, talking about book burning, where it basically turns into martial law. The fire brigade turn on the people of the city, not just for burning books, I don't think, at the end. It actually turns into martial law. And they're dragging people out of their houses and lining them up.
yeah.
And they burst the door down into this one sort of shelter,
Yeah.
and there's a family of blind people sitting there.
Yeah, yeah.
But they've avoided the system. Books. They're doing braille.
Yes.
Did you see the braille?
Yes, I did.
And he looks at it, he doesn't understand what
Yeah.
it is. He touches it.
Yeah.
I think, what are they doing? Well, they're still reading, but they're doing braille. Very clever.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. Yes. And so, as I say, one of the most disturbing features was in both films where they burst into a property that has loads and loads of
Oh,
books,
yeah.
and was it an older lady
Oh,
in both
in both. Yeah.
films?
It was wasn't it the neighbour's mum in the first one or something?
Yeah.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
The
think so.
daughter's mum. Yeah.
And she chooses to be burnt with
With the books.
the books, and they tell her to get out, but
But she starts the fire.
she starts it
Yeah.
and takes out a match, and they all run back.
Run,
You know,
yeah.
and now,
Oh, by the way, they're dousing all these books in kerosene.
yeah,
A hose, and they're just dousing them all in kerosene and then setting it alight with a flamethrower.
yeah,
Which is, you know,
because it's inevitable at some point when the authorities are so bent on incinerating and destroying and
Yeah.
burning the books that there will be this crossover where people will actually get burnt as well.
yeah.
It seems inevitable, really.
Yeah.
And in history, this has happened. We even had a case in 1555 in this country where the Archbishop of Canterbury, Thomas Cranmer, was burnt at the stake with the Bishop, Nicholas Ridley, and Thomas Cranmer, Hugh Latimer. So they were all burnt back to back in the centre of Oxford, and that was through simply disagreeing with the Roman Catholic Church on the issue of transubstantiation, the Mass.
Have you put anything down about when she actually sets light to herself with the books? What she
Yeah,
quotes?
she quotes, that was the quote.
Omnis.
No, but the quote, she
Yeah.
says, play the man Master Ridley, or words to that effect.
Yeah.
We will light a fire by God's grace
Yeah.
that our trust will never go out. And
None
that's a quote from one of those
none of
bishops.
the fire brigade can work out what she meant
Omnis,
when
yeah.
she said omnis. Well, I had a quick look. I mean, you can't always agree because this is misinformation. But according to Wiki, omnis means every misfortune is to be overcome by enduring.
Okay.
So, if you're having a misfortunate time, you endure it, and it'll disappear.
Interesting.
Oh, another little clip on there. You know, I mentioned about the sort of lizard logo.
Yeah.
Well, I think in the second film, when I look at it, it's lost 2 of its legs. It's gone to 4 legs rather than 6.
Oh, I didn't notice. I didn't notice that. Any other thoughts on this second film?
Yeah, if you want to do the end of it.
Yeah.
The people who are regular people who like reading books, knowledge, they give them the nickname of the eels, don't they? The
Right.
eels. Well, that's a sort of a lizard in a way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Serpent. But so they find peace and harmony by, like you say, quoting books to themselves, learning the book where they don't need the book anymore, it's in there,
Yeah.
and then they pass it on to their grandchildren. Montag joins them in the end, doesn't he? 'Cause he stopped taking his medication, the drops, and he joins them in that life. On the second one, because of this martial law and the fire brigade just burning everything, lots, buildings, everything, the way they get the truth and facts out is to get a little transponder. Montag pinches it from the fire brigade. All the information, because it's computerised in the second one, all these books are stored on this little transponder, and he takes it to the eels, and they feed it and strap it to that starling. Now, as some of you may know, starlings love to flock in. Where was I?
Yeah.
So murmurations. They love to flock in murmurations and call.
Yeah.
They create these lovely, signs in the sky. So I thought that was a great thing. It all comes down at the end of the film to Mother Nature and like love and compassion. To get it out there, they had to use an animal to go spread the word to hundreds of thousands of other birds.
Yeah.
You know, in that murmuration.
Yeah.
I thought that's quite clever to
Yeah,
get it out.
it was.
So because the fire brigade can't get the birds, can they? They've gone flying.
Brilliant.
I thought that was quite good.
That's it.
Yeah.
So, all of this, as I say, it goes a lot deeper than books, because if this type of tyranny, like in the film, takes root, come about, then this is the society. This isn't just talking about a couple of films.
No.
It's the reality people will face, because this system doesn't want anyone to remember the past, because they may have affection for it. So if you think about it, all music has to be rounded up. Everything, CDs, DVDs, VHS,
anything that's a hard copy.
anything, it's all got to go, because it has to be complete control.
That's why I think they want everything on the cloud.
Yes, it's
You haven't got a physical
Exactly.
copy.
because, as I often say, everyone who's got digital books on Kindle and various things,
You haven't got the book.
you've not got the book. It can
No.
be switched off at the
Yes.
moment. But the other way, like in the film, if they come for your books, they've got to come into your property and physically take them away,
Yeah.
and it becomes harder
Yeah.
for them. And so this raises the questions.
Oh, it's hot.
What 3 copies of a book would you keep to preserve? You don't have to put it in the comments, but just think to yourself, what would you, in a sense, hide away? And if this is the case, should we be thinking in terms of not just storing food, but hiding a few things away? Because once this madness starts, there's no end to it.
Well, I think that's a good idea. I do loads of it. Anything factual, be it video, a PDF file, anything
Yeah.
that you can download,
Yeah.
I think you need to download it and keep it on several hard drives so you've got several backups.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Also, it raises the question: have you ever burnt a book for whatever reason? Do you feel there are certain things? I'll give you an illustration. I have burnt a number of books years back that I felt were particularly evil, that came into my, were given by the people I was trying to help out of cults and various occult dark stuff. So if a thing is a particular related to darkness of witchcraft on a level of dark stuff, to be honest, though you could just put it in the bin, sometimes it merits burning. Now, we were going to finish this talk. I had a copy of Schwab's The Great Reset, and I thought to myself, we should really, we could finish with that, incinerating that.
No.
We used it, I got it, for that talk we did on
Boris.
Colombo.
Yeah,
Remember?
Yeah.
You were reading
Things dropped off.
And but then I thought, as I skimmed through it, I need to read this because everyone quotes it, everyone talks about it. You'll be happy owning nothing, and maybe do a deeper bit of research on it. But certainly, once the notes have been made, maybe there'll be a private.
Book burning, a Klaus Schwab book
Exactly.
burning day. Yeah.
Is that?
I think that's
Do
it.
you
We've
think
pretty
we've
covered
summed
quite a
it
bit
up?
there.
Yeah, I think we have. So we're going to leave it there.
And
And
yeah, one day, Montag, I will burn you.
yeah. God bless and be seeing you.
Toodle pip.